Let's do part A. Here we write C vector in terms of G vector and D vector. So here we have this pentagon, and in this we see that the G vector are represented by this triangle. We have this G vector, this is C vector, and D vector. So we can consider this a triangle enclosed by these three vectors, and here we can apply the triangle law of vector addition. That is, if two vectors are taken in the same order, considering this G vector, and then there is another vector, this is C vector. So these two vectors are in the same order, that is, they start and then they continue as it is from the G vector to C vector, and therefore the resultant of this vector will be in the opposite order. That is, this is the resultant vector, which is a D vector, which is connected by the initial point of the G vector with the terminal point of the C vector. And this is clearly specified in this triangle as indicated by this arrows. So the G vector is like this, and then the C vector is going in the same order. Then the resultant vector D vector is from the starting point of G to the terminal point of D. So therefore, according to the triangle of addition, we can write down the sum of these two vectors, that is G vector plus C vector, which are taken in the same order, equals the resultant vector, which is D vector, which is in the opposite order. And so from this, we can now write C vector in terms of G vector and D vector by subtracting G vector from both sides. So therefore, we write C vector equals D vector minus G vector. Let's do part B. Here we write B vector in terms of F vector and G vector. So therefore, in this pentagon, we are going to utilize this triangle enclosed by these three vectors, B vector, F vector, and G vector. So we can see that F vector is going along this direction, and then it is connected by another vector, B vector, which is in the same order. This is F vector, and this is B vector, and then the resultant of these two vectors will be starting from the initial point of F and connecting the terminal point of B, and this is the G vector. So according to the triangle of addition, we can write down these two vectors which are along the same order, that is F vector plus B vector equals the resultant vector, which is the G vector, and this G vector in the opposite order. And so therefore we can write B vector in terms of F vector and G vector, and this equals G vector minus F vector when we subtract F vector from both sides. And so therefore this is how we express the B vector in terms of the other two vectors.